Hey guys, thank you so much for overwhelming response so far. My channel already has 2 episodes, but I'm sure you all might be wondering what's the relation. The first episode was on the cleanliness of the city, and the second one was on the history of a place. So what I'm trying to do is trying to promote cycling or a healthier alternative for office commute. Definitely not limited to only cycling. It also includes carpooling or public transport or metro or your own office cab. So to do this, what I'm trying to do is trying to meet with people from different walks of life and trying to understand why have they taken an alternative path than the chosen one. Today I am meeting with a friend of mine whose name is literally the first 3 letters of alphabet. He is an engineer and a marketing student by academics, a novelist, screenwriter and a director by passion and profession. He is none other than ABC Anandyabrata Chakravarti. Let's hear from the man himself how his journey has been so far.
What's up, Srini? How are you?
So, good man. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for making time to actually.
I was free today.
So
Yeah.
we just wanted to understand how your journey has been. You did engineering for your
Yeah.
graduation,
Yeah.
MBA for your post graduation, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a job when we all graduated as well.
Yeah, I've studied engineering, electronics telecom, and then worked for a year, then did my MBA with you. And then I think I worked for about 5 years as well.
Okay.
So it's been actually 10 years since I passed out of engineering, so it's been a long time since that
Right.
happened. So now, 2.5 years ago, I quit my corporate job. I was working for a company called Akamai Technologies. I quit that job and I thought I will take to writing full time. So that's my main job. My main job is to write. I also direct sometimes when I get a chance. But primarily writing is my focus and that's what I'm trying to do. There are two main challenges when you want to quit your job and kind of take up something that you like doing. I think the two primary challenges are convincing your parents and your family,
Right.
and the second is money. So the first part, surprisingly for me, it was not that difficult. I thought there will be a lot of backlash when I tell my mother that I'm going to quit. But I had tricked her a little bit. There's this time of the year when she goes to our hometown, which is Guwahati.
Okay.
And she was at Guwahati and I told her over the phone that I'm quitting. So there could not be so much backlash. And she was rather supportive there. Problems happened later. Once I had actually quit and I had gone to Bombay, so things started going bad after that. So that was one challenge because you are answerable to society at large and to your family especially. Second is money. So I am the sole bread earner of my family. It's me and my mother, and so I'm the sole bread earner. And I had taken up a house and I have an EMI to pay. So quitting a job and going somewhere means that I will still have to pay the EMI.
Correct.
If I go out of the city, that means that I have to pay a rent as well in the place that I stay and pay this EMI, which is a lot of expenses. And I wouldn't have an idea of what I'm going to earn in the next few months because I'm not going there with a job. However, I think the only thing that made me take the jump was conviction. I had only about 4 or 5 months worth of money saved, and that ran out in 3 or 4 months. So it became very tricky. The first year was very difficult. Financially, it was very difficult because there were times when. So I'm assuming this is an open-ended question I'm going on. Is that okay?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
So the first year actually, the first project that I got was like I barely got paid for it, and I was never promised to be paid for it. It was like a learning experience. I got to write some dialogue for a feature film, which is doing rounds in festivals right now. So a lot of
I think that's where you actually wrote some dialogues for Kalki Cochin and
yes,
Akash
yes,
Raj and
yes.
others.
There's a film called Candy Flip.
Okay.
So it premiered, not didn't premiere, it premiered in Goa last year. Ifi
Right,
Goa.
2017.
Yeah, 2017. This year, earlier this year, it was screened in the Bangalore International Film Festival. It happens in PVR, I think, in Rajasthan.
Okay.
So we watched it there. It was really nice to see the name on the big screen, all that. So that was fun. So I got a chance to write some lines for Kalki and Gulshan Devaya and Prakash Raj and all the big names. The director is a new guy. He's my mentor, but he's the new guy in the industry.
Okay. Okay.
His name is Shanawaz. So
Okay.
he's put everything together to ensure that this film gets made, and it has a lot of debuts. So he has ensured a lot of debuts. He's given work to a lot of people.
Okay.
So which is fascinating for somebody who's doing something for the first time. His first film. So that was the first opportunity. Very, very good opportunity. My first day at shoot happened there.
Okay.
There's some additional scene that I had written that got shot.
Okay.
So I was also assisting the director in terms of post-production, like dubbing and all these kind of things. So I learned a lot of things about filmmaking from Shanawaz because I knew nothing about it at all. So I had come only with a couple of books in my kitty. I just knew how to write. From our professors, there was Professor Ray, who used to encourage me a lot. Dude, you are there. You should try to write more. So I think that gang, that Alliance gang, a lot of friends there. There was somebody called Tanya Khushbu,
Right.
a very good friend. So these guys, then Kumail, Piyush.
Right.
So Nakul, they've always backed me. You can write, and so I tried, but I definitely didn't have the guts back then to quit my job and do writing full time.
Right.
That came after writing 2 books and learning this.
Right.
So Candy Flip taught me what is a bit about what is film, how do they make it, what is the process, what happens, what is the chronology of the events that happen
Right.
to make a film. After that, I was jobless for about 4 months. In that period, I was trying to write my first screenplay. I wrote one screenplay, then I was approached by a producer to write another one, which was an adaptation of an English film. But that film also didn't take off. But by the end of August, which is the first 8 months of my after quitting the job, I had written down 2 feature film scripts,
Okay.
the first drafts of those.
So you have worked with some of the big names in the industry, like big labels. When I say names, Sony. You worked with Sony for some time, and then you have met big names in the industry like Subhash Ghai and Ricky Martin for writing lyrics to the song. So how did that happen?
So that was a very nice opportunity that I was presented with. So a friend of mine, his name is Rahul Jain.
Okay.
So he's doing really well for himself right now. So I used to write lyrics for his pitch songs. So initially when he was like a struggling musician, back in I think 2014ish. So I think he had put up a post, somebody had tagged me there, and then we became friends.
Okay.
And I started writing lyrics for him. And he has a beautiful voice. So I loved writing. Like whenever I had a first thought for lyrics, I'd write it and send it to him.
Okay.
And he would make those songs and pitch it to different people. So I was working for Akmai and he was in Bombay. He had just moved to Bombay, I think 2015ish. I was just moved to Bombay from Indore. And that also gave me a lot of exposure as to what folks want in terms of lyrics in Bollywood. And I also realized that I'm not good enough in the process because language, my Hindi itself is not great. It's the 4th language that I speak after English, Assamese and Bengali. So although I want to express a lot of things, I think to be a lyricist, your grip on language has to be really good. In fact, it should be great. And now to be a lyricist, being good at Hindi is not good enough in Bollywood. You have to be good at Punjabi also. You have to be pretty good at Urdu as well. So a lot of people mock these things because like, so why so much Punjabi lyrics? But I think these are all related languages, and it's only fair that lyricists are expected to know these languages and have a grip on these if you want to write professionally. I eventually did realize that this is probably not my thing, although I had been doing it for a good 6-7 years by then. But I knew I will not become the best at it at any point of time. So it didn't feel like something I should go for. However, thanks to Rahul Jain and the opportunities to work with him, he was pitching to Sony Music, and Sony Music liked the lyrics, and they gave me a chance for a different project for an Indian vocalist. So what I tried there didn't work out, but they still had faith in me. They came back for a bigger project, which was Ricky Martin. So when that came, I think sometimes what drives you is self-belief. Sometimes it is an external source, right?
Correct.
So this time it was definitely the external source. Like, oh my God, I'm getting a chance to work with Ricky Martin. So maybe I pushed myself really hard there. The expectation was to come up with a very specific kind of lyrics, and I was very happy that Sony Music, Ricky Martin, his team, his lyricists, original lyricists that regularly work with him, Spanish guys, English guys, they all like the sound of it. So that's important for them because they don't get Hindi, but how do the words sound is very important. Is it going to fit into the song that they're thinking of? That worked. So this was just like a very welcome break. I'm really happy that it's happened.
Recently you wrote this script for Naukri and came out with a short film as well, because there are a couple of people who have appreciated the work which is gone through on our dailies. So what was the thing which was running behind your mind? Like, what was the thought process you just wanted to understand, like, before coming out with such a content?
So basically, just to give you a brief, like, I work for a company called The Gist. Like, the company is called Pixel Pictures. It's a TV production house based out of Bangalore. They create content for Kannada television, especially colors and ETC, I think. And now they have, over the last 1 year, they ventured out into digital as well. They're calling the channel The Gist. So I am one of the employees there, and my job is to write and create content there. So now, and the short film Naukri was created for The Gist. Okay. So now I think, like I said about the book, I wanted to write a book, and therefore I did the research. So that I am able to write the book. With Naukri, it was the other way around. It was because I had done some research on a certain subject over the last 2-3 years, and I think I wanted to speak out on my perspective or showcase, a bit of my understanding, or like voice it out basically through a short film. And the research was not after conceiving the idea. The idea was conceived because the research was done.
So I just wanted to ask you about the settling part. Have you ever thought of settling down?
Settling down, like in terms of getting married.
Yeah, that's what is the notion.
Okay. So yes, I am dating someone, and I really hope that we get married. And we both hope that we get married soon, and if that is settling down, then that is settling down. However, in life, from what I understand about the term, I would never want to settle down. Like, I'd never want to know what exactly lies ahead 3 months from now, because that is like just, you already know the 7th chapter when you're reading the 4th.
Right.
So it's not fun. According to me, I think if we keep exploring, or if we keep, things keep unfolding as they happen, I think it's way more interesting. Life becomes fun, no? It's like, it's more interesting.
So we all know that there has been a movie a short movie which is now which is very famous, but we want to understand what went through behind the first short movie as well.
92 Win, the first short film, that was about a guy, is an Indian guy. He quits his job to crack an alternative to something called the Duckworth Lewis method of cricket.
Okay.
So a lot of cricket fans, they find that one thing annoying about cricket. The people who are not cricket fans, they find the game itself annoying. But people like me who love the game, like have grown up watching the game, we find that one thing annoying about the game, which is the Duckworth Lewis method, which is a mathematical algorithm that nobody gets, including the umpires and cricketers, ex-cricketers, current cricketers. Nobody gets it, but they have to follow it, so it's annoying. So there's this guy who tries to crack an alternative to that using his skills on mathematics.
Okay.
It's a story about that guy. So that is a 27-minute short film, and that actually got a lot of traction, to be honest. Like, it got covered by the Hindu, then it was reviewed by this very famous reviewer called Corey.
Okay.
He's an Australian reviewer.
And another thing is, like, how easier or difficult was it for you to reach out the industry? Like when you started?
Yeah. Even now, I think it is not very easy to reach out to everyone. Okay, something that has worked for me. Something that has worked for me better than the literary industry is the response rate.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was not something I had expected. When you write to a publisher, they usually do not reply if they are not taking it. If they don't like the synopsis and the first bit of stuff that you send, they'll probably not reply to you saying that we can't go ahead with it. Some publishers do that, but most of them don't. However, it is surprising that the film industry is, like, in general, more on a lookout for stories.
Okay.
And they see it as a welcome thing when even a person who's not known at all sends a story to them. They don't treat it like, hey, who the hell are you?
Right.
They're not like that. It is a common perception about the industry,
Right.
that they're rude or they're celebrities, so they're a certain way. I don't think work-wise they're like that. Had they been like that, then they'll be making shitty movies. So there are a lot of shitty movies out there, obviously. But obviously I didn't reach out to those guys who were making those films.
Okay.
I wanted to reach out to only those people who I thought, would like the book in the first place and have made kind of films that I like watching. And I'd love to see the film if they make it. So
Right.
the people that I reached out to were probably 10, 15 of the best production houses or directors that I really love.
Okay.
Only thing that if there's anyone out there with a script or a book and wants to reach out, do not gate crash, is what I'd say.
Okay.
I've gate crashed a couple of offices and the guards have asked me to just fuck off. They're like, what do you have? I have a book, I want this too. We don't want books, go, get out.
So any message you want to tell us?
I think, doing something different for the sake of doing something different is a very bad reason to do it. Quitting your job to do something creative because you hate your boss is a terrible thing to do.
Right.
Also calling out the word passion only for things which are creative or adventurous is completely wrong. You can be a very passionate engineer. You can be a very passionate coder.
Right.
These jobs, for the most useless reasons, are considered boring. They're not boring. A great coder loves his job, and he's a great coder because he loves his job. If you're doing well at those, please do that. This is nothing. This entire perception that, writing a book, singing a song, these things are cool, what you're doing is uncool, that is bullshit. That is just bullshit. If you love what you're doing, whatever that is, that doesn't have to be creative, that doesn't have to be adventurous, doesn't have to be out of the box, doesn't have to be cooking, doesn't have to be anything of those offbeat things. If you love what you do, just do it and just whatever that is, it's good, it's great. If you love it, it's great. And nobody else gets to judge that. If you love it, you do it. Nobody else gets to judge that. So that's it.
Wow. Thank you so much for taking our time to watch the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to it and ring the bell. If you don't like the video, let me know what can be improved. As always, do something for yourself, do something for Mother Nature, and do something which you always wanted to do, which makes a difference in your life. Until next time, bye-bye. Bye.